Welcome everyone to the smart world around us. This is our series of discussions organized by Smart-EDU Hub. Today we're doing a deep dive into really quite a fascinating article. It's called Developing Inter and Intra Operability, one of the best Romanian smart city study case. It was written by Cătălin Braibi, who's a lecturer at the National University Political Studies and Public Administration, and it really gets into what it takes to build public services online that actually, respond to people. We should mention you can find a link to the actual article right there in the deep dive description below. Definitely worth a read.
Yeah, it's a great piece. And what often gets missed, something the article really flags, is that lots of institutions, they just felt they needed some kind of online presence, any presence. But just having a website doesn't automatically mean things are efficient or that citizens can interact effectively, especially, when the behind-the-scenes stuff is still all manual paperwork like it was before this smart city push.
That's such a key point. You see so many public websites that are basically just, online versions of paper forms, aren't they? Static. So how do you actually make that jump from just being online to being dynamic and useful for citizens? This article looks at Brasov City Hall's initiative, the Integrated Technical Dispatch for the Municipality of Brasov Geospatial Electronic Services. Bit of a mouthful.
It is. But what it does is pretty straightforward, conceptually at least. It's basically a dynamic online technical dispatcher. The goal was to show how a Romanian public institution can build a site that really works for citizen interaction. So if you spot a problem in the city, maybe some infrastructure failure.
Instead of endless phone calls.
Exactly. You can either call one dedicated number or, and this is where it gets really cool, you can just place a pin directly onto an interactive map on the city's web portal.
Okay, that sounds much better. So it's about getting the right people involved quickly. The article mentions some key subsystems that make this work.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the dispatch subsystem. Think of it as the nerve center. It pulls in data from all sorts of city hall systems, video feeds, public lighting info, traffic control data.
Feeding into one place.
Right. Then you've got the Geoportal subsystem. That's the interactive map you mentioned. And it's accurate down to 10 centimeters, which is pretty incredible.
Wow, 10 centimeters.
Yeah. So you can pin your urban problem, a pothole, a broken streetlight, whatever, and even track its status later. See if it's being worked on.
And the third one, you said it was maybe the most complex.
Yes, the Geospatial Electronic Services Delivery Subsystem. This is sort of the connective tissue. It bridges the gap between utility companies, city partners, everyone involved. It means they can handle requests online super fast using that precise geographical info from the map. Helps cut costs, standardizes data. It's really the key to making the interoperability part work.
That really does sound like a quantum leap from just posting PDFs online. The article brings up this idea of 5 pillars of interaction for public administration. Where does Brasov's system fit in that model?
That's a great question because it highlights what genuine digital government looks like. Most places in Romania, maybe globally too, have basic websites. That's pillar 1, maybe pillar 2, information, maybe some one-way forms. But Brasov, with this system, pushes into those higher levels the article talks about, pillars 3, 4, and 5.
Which involve?
Things like actual financial transactions, seamless integration of services, both vertically within the city hall and horizontally with external partners, and crucially, real citizen participation in two-way communication. Brasov's system allows for that integrated analysis and that back and forth. It's way beyond just putting information out there.
Okay, so connecting all these technical details back to the person living in Brasov, what's the real difference they'd have seen? What were the tangible results?
Well, the article points to some pretty significant benefits. The system clearly led to much more efficient handling of citizen reports. Things got fixed faster. Departments and different institutions started coordinating way better. They give a figure by November 2015, the system had handled almost 1,900 incidents, and nearly all of them, 1,860, were already solved.
That's a concrete result.
Definitely. And it's also about transparency, accountability. City managers can actually see the workflows, see where bottlenecks are, and then set clear standards for how services should be delivered. It directly helps citizens get problems solved faster and, understand what's going on.
That is genuinely impressive. Moving from piles of paper to this kind of integrated, transparent digital service, it feels like the big takeaway is about working together.
Indeed. The article really hammers this home. A project like this absolutely needs a strong partnership. You need citizens, businesses, and the public authorities all pulling together. And communication, clear and constant communication, is highlighted as maybe the most critical factor for success.
That's a perfect thought to maybe leave our listeners with. How could similar integrated systems, this kind of interoperability, change other parts of city life, maybe in ways we haven't even thought of yet? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into some really interesting smart city solutions. This has been the Smart World Around Us, brought to you by Smart-EDU Hub. We really hope you enjoyed this discussion. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the Smart-EDU Hub channel. That way you'll be the first to catch our new deep dives. And don't forget that link to the article we talked about today. It's right there in the description below. See you next time.